Hello. Well, you really do have to be scraping the bottom of the barrel when your argument for a person's fitness to be president or not depends upon whether or not he owns a dog. Really, I'd say that was a bit silly, but that's the level that the arguments got to recently. I've seen several Facebook memes showing Joe Biden with his dog. Wrong one. Perhaps they don't notice. Okay, now here's an article in an online magazine called registerguard.com. I don't know whether it's better known somewhere else. I've never heard of it. But the article is interesting and it was published about a year ago. So this has been rankling for several months. It's written by Frank Bruni and is entitled "Why Donald Trump Hates Your Dog." And the proof for Donald Trump hating your dog, dear viewer, is that he said that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died like a dog. I have a few things to tell Mr. Bruni about this. The first is that die like a dog is an expression in English that has a long history. The second is this. He says the noun that he's looking for. The word Bruni should be the simile he's searching for. Simile, Mr. Bruni. The word like in that phrase is the clue. And the third thing I have to say is that if you don't know the difference between a noun and a phrase containing a simile, then you are the last person on the planet to be criticising Trump for not knowing many words. Tell you what, Bruni, he knew enough words to say to his generals, "Get our soldiers out of Syria," which seems to me to be the best words any American president could say. And further, a man who doesn't know the difference between a noun and a simile possibly might be the sort of person who doesn't know the difference between a president and a man who happens to own a dog. Okay. Now, let's see what else. There's another article here in another online magazine called WM. I don't know anything about that either. Donald Trump is still against dogs, no matter how good politically they look. And this is what actually I admire about Trump, as well as the criticism I have of him, that he doesn't understand politics that well. Do you remember the old Adam West Batman? It was such a good show, one of the wittiest, cleverest TV shows ever made, in my opinion. And I remember one episode where the Penguin was running for political office, mayor, governor, something like that, most likely the mayor. And to forestall the terrible prospect of him winning, Batman ran against him. One of the most obvious features of the Penguin's campaign was that whenever a potential voter turned up with a baby, he kissed it. I mean, the Penguin kissed it. Oh, such a kind-hearted, warm-hearted man, they twittered. But when Batman did his canvassing and some besotted parent handed him a baby to kiss, he refused on the grounds that this was insanitary. This made him unpopular with the voters. He just didn't do what they expected. The Penguin had a lot more understanding of how to act like a politician. I don't remember how Batman succeeded in winning the day. He did at least stop the Penguin's ploy. I don't remember how he did, but I'll bet it wasn't through diplomatic speak. Goodness me, there's a strange sort of correspondence here, isn't there? Anyway, it says here, "I wouldn't mind having a dog, but I don't have any time." That's what Trump said. Then he says, "How would I look walking a dog on the White House lawn? I don't know. I don't feel good. It feels a little phony to me." And that's it. That's Trump. he isn't really a politician, so he comes out with non-politically careful stuff from time to time. A good example of that is that disinfectant question. He was just spitballing, and he said something like, can we use something like a disinfectant as well? He didn't say Clorox. There's that simile again, by the way, something like a disinfectant. It does look like quite a lot of people don't know the difference between a simile and a statement, doesn't it? You see, any trained politician would know that those with a particular agenda would seize on that, but Trump hasn't been trained up to that sort of thing. Now, he went on to say that a lot of people say, you should get a dog. Why? It's good politically. I said, that's not the relationship I have with my people. Yeah, and again, that's the other thing I admire about Trump. He regards the American people as his people. That's not the feeling I get from Biden's lot. I have the feeling that they think of anyone who doesn't vote Democrat as simply as the enemy, the basket of deplorables. So in this meme, the Facebook meme, it says that Joe Biden, get that off. Thank you, that's better. Joe Biden has a dog. And I thought maybe we'd go through a few great leaders who like to be seen around dogs. There's Charles I, for instance, one of the least successful monarchs and leaders Britain ever had. He nearly always had a dog in his portraits. Then there's Joe Stalin, who thought much of his Russian black terrier. And then there's Adolf Hitler, of course. Cut that out. There we go. Hitler, who loved his German Shepherd. And, well, just to finish up with somebody else, another world leader who liked his dog, Mao Zedong. Although, possibly, he didn't like his dog in quite the same way as the others. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share, share, share.